Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Las Vegas. This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Going bell to bell with the best in professional wrestling news, entertainment, and lots of Sin City surprises from inside the squared circle. Now, let's get to all the exciting pro wrestling action and bring on the host. Here is Mark Hoke.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Mark Hoke Show. Woohoo! Yeah!
Yes, sir.
Let's fire this baby up.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
Man. We go from Jesus to pro wrestling, which is kind of the same thing if you think about it.
Explain that to me.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's not get in those weeds. Huh? Yeah. But, yeah, happy Sunday to everybody out there, man. The David difference, what the difference a day makes. Mark Hoke, you're looking beautiful this morning.
Am I?
Yeah, you got this angelic glow about you.
Well, you know, I am a little cherub.
Ah, yes.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Hey, we got an unbelievable show today. That was a little wrestling last night.
A little bit.
Just a little.
Yeah.
So we're going to be talking a whole lot about SummerSlam today here on the Mark Hoke Show. The best in pro wrestling news and entertainment. We are very happy to have you with us. As David said, I'm Mark Hoke, the David difference. By my, well, sort of side. You're actually at my side.
Figuratively speaking, yes, always by your side, man. Until the day I stab you in the back.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, the swerve is coming. We just went live, man. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Hey, Twitter world, as O.J. Simpson says. We are live. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys.
You didn't get a lot of sleep, did you?
Do I ever?
That's true. Saturday night's your night.
Yeah, man. Disco night. Disco night at the Dave Cave, man. They came out last night, I'll tell you that much.
I don't even want to know.
Yes, you do.
But
I won't
nobody
tell.
wants to know that.
I won't tell, man. Everybody wants to know. What do you mean nobody? They're clamoring.
Well, you know what? Do a second show on our YouTube channel.
Well, I'm not saying I got to tell it all, but I'm just saying they do want to know.
Really?
You want to know.
Everybody in the chat, if you're in the chat, let us know. Do you really want to hear about Dave's
exploits in the cave?
Oh, God. I don't even want to think about exploits. Anyway,
right.
Well, we have 3 guests today because we are going to have SummerSlam covered and so much more from every perspective. Plus, we're actually going to be talking a little about what happened at the Great American Bash last week, too.
Last week?
Yeah, did you see what happened?
Great American Bash.
Yeah, Gable Steveson made his debut.
We're talking about NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I saw what happened with that. Like, I was like, where are we going back in time on this?
Yeah, that didn't go well either, apparently.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We have Rick Ucchino from Cincinnati, 700 WLW, of course, this Cage Side Seats, Believe in Pro Wrestling Network, the whole thing. Rick was at SummerSlam last night, so we're going to get the inside scoop on what was going on at Ford Field in Detroit with Rick coming up on our next segment.
Yep.
The segment after that, we're going to talk to Stu Myrick, of course, from Sports Guys Talk Wrestling. He was at the Great American Bash in Austin.
Okay. These guys were live.
Yeah.
They were in there. They were feeling it.
You see what I was doing?
No.
Yeah. You know, getting live reports from all over the country.
Some industry greats, man. I seen our guy yesterday on the WWE press conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Well, Rick's the man. He's pretty darn good at what he does. And in studio.
We got somebody?
He's sitting next to you. I
Ooh,
can't.
John Cena? I can't see nobody.
That's terrible. Rocky T's in the house from Future Stars of Wrestling. Let's put him on, man. There he is.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Wow, finally I get to sit with these guys. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ecstatic here, you know?
We've been waiting for a long time to have you on the show, buddy.
Well, you know, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to talk about wrestling, and, let's see where this goes today. I mean, you never know. You might even have me back.
We don't know about that. But, hey, look.
Hey, Dave.
Interesting.
Dave, stop. Okay?
Wow, there it is.
Man, shut me down. Hey, so fun fact is Rocky T actually introduced me to Mark Hoke. at a FSW show and said, "Look, man, this guy's ratings are tanking."
Wow.
Nah,
I guarantee he didn't say that.
right?
No, but you know what? I did introduce you guys. You know, I knew that you were doing something great with your show, and, you know, I knew that Dave would be a great match, and I was, you know, happy to introduce you guys.
Well, you were dead wrong about that, but, you know, it's all good.
Come on. Listen, between the two of you, one of you is getting slammed here real soon if you keep it up.
Let it be Mark.
Well, fortunately, you know, I can. Well, I guess I can't lock that door, but I can chain it up. You guys are in the booth. I'm stuck in production over here, so yeah, that'll be bad. But we're excited to have Rocky on the show. We're going to be talking with Rocky a little bit about what's going on with FSW and Headlocks and Hearts too.
Yeah.
Great new charity, and
we're going to get into it.
Exciting.
Yeah, so going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have the world of pro wrestling covered for you today, plus some stuff that was going on in AEW. Had a new women's world champion crowned this week. Who called that?
Must have been you, right, Mark? Right?
Yeah.
Had to be.
It was. It was.
You got that special talent. You know, you can see into the future, I see.
I actually did call 2 new world champions on the women's side.
Nostradamus over here.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Occasionally I'm right.
Hey,
Occasionally.
There's nothing wrong with that. Dave thinks he's right all the time. You know, that's not right. But
how is that not right?
Takes.
How is that not right?
Come on, Dave.
Come on.
When have you known me to be wrong? Never.
Oh, do you want a list?
Yeah, I do. Send it. Jericho list size.
Oh, man. Well, let's get a little preliminary discussion on SummerSlam last night, because obviously just a very, I don't know, some cool stuff happened and some weird stuff happened yesterday. And Dave, let me just start that off with you. Before we get into all the specifics, which, you know, we're really going to hit each match in the second hour, but what are your thoughts about the card last night and just how everything went?
I think I think a lot of good matches. There was some lows to it, but I think overall as a show, the crowd interaction they were on point for most of it, except for the down points and I don't blame them. But I enjoyed the show. I did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt a little disappointed last night.
Did you? So you talk about weird things, or what disappointed you?
Well,
I'm curious.
Just in general, you know, the opening match was great. You know, I thought Cody may have taken too much of a beating last night. They really kind of
felt the same.
Hammered that home. The match with Shayna and Ronda, while it was a decent match, you know, whenever you try to do matches like that where there's fighting or different rules where, you know, the fans can't really see what's going on, you know, it doesn't play that well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, at home you can see it and it looks good.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was just, I don't know, that was kind of weird. I just thought the crowd was a little off last night. I'm not big on the last match, just how everything turned out.
No.
In the main event.
No.
I mean, the match itself was cool.
Right.
But I think that I'm seeing the Bloodline storyline unravel.
Nah.
I
don't know. There goes your fortune telling skills.
Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna break it down a little bit more. But I mean, overall, I thought it was a decent night.
I will say something interesting just based on that is like during the press conference afterwards, Paul Heyman, somebody had said that as well. It's like, what do you do after this Bloodline thing? He says, calm down. This is the third inning. We got a long ways to go.
Third inning.
Yeah.
I did hear that quote.
Yeah.
Rocky, do you think that's in the third inning?
You know, I got to tell you, man, this Bloodline story is just something else. I really don't know how far they can carry that. And they really are trying to go the distance. And to be honest with you, I think there's still a lot left in the pot. I mean, I really do. You know, when you add them all up together, I mean, there's still some ifs out there. You know what I mean? So Sikoa, I mean, what could happen with him? I mean, there's some stuff that can definitely happen. You know, I mean, who knows? Maybe The Rock will come back and, you know, and just take over. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he really is the true tribal chief. I mean, Roman's been on. He's been on a high way, way too long, if you ask me. And
wow,
I think somebody, somebody big is going to have to come and put him in his place. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Roman, but there's that but in there. Everybody has his day. And I hate to say it, but his day's coming. You know what I mean? And so we're just going to have to wait and see what they have plans, and we'll see how it goes. But I think they're a little ways from ending this.
Oh, yeah. I think it's another layer. Now you got the brothers about to have that chapter against each other. Like, come on.
Sure.
How do you see that as winding down?
Here's my problem with it, and I don't want to go too deep into the weeds because we've got Rick Ucchino coming up. But now you have Solo's mad at Roman. You've got the Uso brothers split up and fighting. Mm-hmm. Roman has lost control of everybody. Mm-hmm. And so now all four of them are kind of like, where are you? Yep. Whose allegiances are you with? And here's the thing. I think it's going to create some confusion. One thing that I've really liked about this storyline is while there's been a lot of complex layers to it, it's also been very simple. Roman kind of got the family under control. Mm. They've been running rampant. They got tired of it. And Jay stood up and said, enough's enough. Jimmy stood up and said, enough's enough. But now you've got all four of them kind of going in different directions. Yeah. And now you don't just have to resolve like one simple, like, well, Jay and Jimmy are against Roman and Solo. Well, now you've got Solo maybe against Roman, and Jimmy maybe is against Jay, and Jay is against Roman, and Solo, and you're convoluting the storyline. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers.
There is a lot of layers, but I believe that's great storytelling. Is now you got this whole different, like, there's so much tension, right? If they just like now you got the brothers about to go at it. Now you got Solo and Roman Reigns. It's like. That's just another layer to it.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know what?
Be honest.
I've got a favorite. I want to see Solo come in there and take out everybody. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, listen, I've got a little investment with this man.
Yes,
you know
you do.
What I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I told him right from the beginning, you're going to be something. I stood behind him. I knew that he was going to be something special. And I'll be honest with you, the kid's been in WWE how long now? Not very long. And look what he's done.
Oh, yeah.
Give this guy a little bit of time, and I'm going to tell you what. You want a new tribal chief? Right there. There you have it. It's just there's so many layers to pull back on this. I mean, I want to see some great stuff happen, and I'm looking forward to it. And really, for me, I want to see Solo. I want to see him fly. Whether it's, taking on all three of them, doing away with the brothers. I mean, they're going to have to show a little bit of respect for him. I mean, that's just the way it is, So
there you go, the little bro stepping up.
Just obliterate everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's what they brought him in for, right?
Well, he's an enforcer, but
he's an enforcer.
Settle down, Rock.
No, come on.
Well, let's give Rocky a chance to take a breather here.
Yeah.
Because we have
settle down, my guy.
We got a very special guest coming up. We're going to have Rick Ucchino coming on the show. Of course, he was at SummerSlam last night. We're going to get his perspective on everything. And, of course, Stu Myrick coming up in the third segment of the show. And then we're going to be talking SummerSlam, AEW, and Headlocks and Hearts, too, a new charity. Kind of running the show. Well, it's Dave running that show. So
passion project.
It's going to be fun. So stick around, everybody. We've got a whole lot more on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM Talk of Las Vegas. We'll be right back. The Mark Hoke Show is proud to announce our partnership with pro wrestling's premier charity, the Cauliflower Alley Club. For nearly 60 years, the CAC has stood strong, assisting members of the wrestling industry in their times of need. Please join us in supporting the Cauliflower Alley Club by becoming a member for just $25 a year or make an individual donation today. Go to caulifloweralleyclub.org and give back to the people that have brought us so much entertainment and joy in pro wrestling. Once again, that's caulifloweralleyclub.org.
Infinite Wellness can help you achieve your goals and look and feel your best. Our regenerative medicine clinic utilizes stem cell and exome therapy, We also have a comprehensive weight loss program and numerous other services you can find on our website at infinitewellness.info. We're located at 8925 West Post Road, Suite 100, right across from IKEA. You can book your appointment today by calling us at 702-842-2244 or find us on social media at infinitewellness.lv. We'd love to be a part of your journey.
101.5 FM, KDAWN.
This is the Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Here again, your host, Mark Hoke.
And we are back on the Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN. 101.5 FM, the Talk of Las Vegas, that Odyssey app worldwide. So wherever you're listening around the planet, man, you know, if you need someplace to check us out, Odyssey is a great place to do it.
Yes, sir. I just got a text from San Diego, man. They tuning in.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very cool. And, of course, we're also live streaming here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter today.
Hey, Twitter world.
What's going on, gang? Good to see you all.
Yeah.
I'm Mark. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Mark Hoke, the David Difference. And, of course, we got Rocky T sitting in with us today from Future Stars of Wrestling. But I got to get this guy on the air right now.
Oh, yeah, urgency.
Yeah, because he's driving, and I'm worried he's going to fall asleep in his car because he got no rest last night.
Yeah.
Our poor buddy from 700 WLW in Cincinnati, and, of course, SB Nation cage side seats. Fightful, he's everywhere.
Like air.
Got into that press conference last night, too. Rick Ucchino joining us here, buddy. How are you?
I am doing good. I am flying down I-75, heading toward Toledo as we speak, hoping to get to Cincinnati here relatively soon.
Well, just skip Toledo. Most people do.
Oh,
I mean, there's nothing between Detroit and Cincinnati. Like, there's nothing. It is like literally you get past Dayton and it's soybeans and then Toledo and then some water and boom, you're in Detroit. But at least for me, I don't have to get off the highway. So it's just 75, and more 75. So I'm good to go here. There's nothing I got to pay attention to but the road and this conversation.
Well, that's perfect. Well, David will try to wreck you, I'm sure, but I'll keep you safe.
Don't put this on me, man.
Yeah,
drive safely out there, man. If you got to hang up on Mark, I understand.
Oh man. Well, of course, and by the way, Rick's on the phone. Like I said, he's driving right now, so you don't see him on the live stream. It's all good. But, Rick, you were at SummerSlam last night. Give us your general impressions of what happened at Ford Field.
Man, you know, I was genuinely surprised how long the show went last night. WWE has made a really strong effort to keep their shows on the shorter side, for better or for worse. And I'm not saying that the show dragged on last night, but I was really I like everything just went longer than you thought it would. And Triple H really kind of gave every segment its time to breathe last night. And I really think it helped make for a really solid show. And it became a special show with Iyo Sky cashing in, Seth Rollins and Finn Balor put on an absolute classic, even though the wrong guy won, in my opinion. And then, you know, we got another chapter in this, you know, epic tome at this point that is the Bloodline storyline with the brother betrayal at the end. So, I mean, it was a really great show. And I want to clarify something because I got this text so often last night from people asking me because I was there. They were like, dude, why is the crowd so dead? And I'm like, guys, they're tired. It is damn near midnight now, and most of these people have been out partying since 11. The show went really long, especially for a WWE show. They were not disinterested. They were not uninvested. They were simply storing their energy for the big moments, and I do believe the crowd delivered in the big moments last night. Overall, it was a very enjoyable experience.
Yeah, we noticed that too. It's funny, you know, David, when we were at Double or Nothing, people were saying that from the outside that the crowd was kind of eh. Yeah. And we were there, and like the crowd was into it the whole time. So it's always a very different viewpoint from when you're in the building as opposed to when you're not. It's just amazing how that works sometimes. So yeah, just pointing that out. Now, Rick, what do you think of coming out of this? we've got some, we have the new Bloodline situation. Iyo Sky wins the women's championship, and LA Knight gets his win yesterday. Just what are you feeling about some of these matches and where we're headed?
Well, let's start with Iyo Sky, because that is still the moment last night that has me smiling ear to ear. And I said this I said it on Twitter, I said it on the post-scrum, and I'll probably say it about a million more times. That was one of those moments last night where you go, to paraphrase Bull Durham, how can you not be romantic about professional wrestling? Damage Control debuted at SummerSlam last year as a group, and honestly, out of the gate, you're sitting here thinking, oh, they're going to be something really, really special. They're about to take over WWE as far as the women's division is concerned. And then it really wasn't that. It's been a lot of one step forward, almost 4 steps back in some instances. And 6 months into that group's tenure, you had people saying they're not doing anything with them. It's not working. They don't work collectively as a group. They need to disband. And then, Dakota gets injured, and they start doing the storyline where Bayley and Iyo aren't on the same page, and everybody thinks that they're going to split. And then last night, everything just clicked. It was a really solid triple threat for the women's title match. I didn't understand why Bianca had to win that match, because to me, moving forward, the rivalry is Bianca and Charlotte moving forward, and then Iyo and Asuka. So they pin Bianca to win the title, but Bayley brought it up as a great point in the media scrum. It also helped bring everything full circle, because the one person that they could not get over the hump against is the same person that they showed up face-to-face with last year, which was Bianca Belair. So it was, again, a nice full circle moment. And all I'm hoping for right now at this point, after finally Damage Control winning the big one, Dakota shows up. My eyes welled up when Dakota rolled into the ring, because all 3 of them were together. They were hugging, and it's just like a giant middle finger to all these people who said, no, they don't work collectively as a group. No, they do. They just needed this kind of moment to catapult them into the next level. And I'm just hoping that WWE does not make the same mistakes with Iyo Sky that they did with Nikki Cross and Liv Morgan. I'm hoping that Iyo Sky has a very, very strong title run, and they present her as a credible, strong champion out of the gate. They did not do that with Liv Morgan. They did not do that with Nikki Cross. They both dropped the belts within a month or two of winning them. Nikki, unfortunately, has not been able to recover. Thankfully, Liv has. Unfortunately, she's injured right now. But it's going to be interesting to see how they book Iyo, given how the last 2 Money in the Bank winners have gone for the women's division. As far as LA Knight is concerned, they finally gave him something. They had to give him something. And, man, I never thought a Slim Jim commercial would hit me in all the feels, but here we frickin' are, man. LA Knight wins it, and they immediately roll into the new Slim Jim package with this record-breaking sponsorship deal that WWE signed with them. And you got LA Knight and Bianca Belair, and they're mixing in some of the old Macho Man stuff from back in the day. It was really, really well done. LA Knight is, look, he said it during the media scrum last night. He's strapping his own rocket to his back, and his popularity is going to take him to big places. And given how Roman Reigns' title reigns are going, I would not be surprised, guys, if the next time that Roman Reigns defends the WWE Universal Championship is against LA Knight at the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
That would be enough time to build up LA Knight as a credible challenger. And given where this Bloodline situation is going, I don't know when Roman Reigns is going to, one, be on television again, because it seems like the central focus is going to be around the Usos now. Jimmy and Jay at odds with one another, probably one-on-one with them at Payback in a month. Maybe you mix Solo Sikoa in there for a triple threat the month after in Indianapolis with Fastlane. The Saudi show, maybe Roman defends there, but I don't know. And then you got Survivor Series. I'm sure the Bloodline will be involved in some kind of multi-man match there. So I don't know if Roman's going to be defending the title again this year, to be completely honest with you. And by the time Royal Rumble rolls around, you're going to have people saying, hey, LA Knight, if he's staying on this trajectory, that's where he's going to go. So we'll see. Let's start simple, though. Let's give him a rivalry. Let's give him a story. They haven't had one of those for him since Bray Wyatt. So it's time to utilize him a little bit better. They finally gave him something. That's good. They can't ignore the crowds anymore.
The Shayna Baszler win last night, I know you got to do an interview with her. What were your thoughts on that match last night and her getting that victory?
Did not translate well with the live audience at all. And it was a match that felt out of place as far as like the flow of the card. And I think it was just a case of nobody really knew what it was and what to expect. Like, nobody really explained what MMA rules match was going to look like. And I assumed it was going to be a kind of blend of professional wrestling and MMA rule, basically a staged MMA fight with a little bit more flair to it. And that's exactly what it was. And it was not bad, in my opinion, at all. I'm not an MMA person. I like story, I like drama, I like suspense, I like build-up. That's why I'm into professional wrestling, because so many times, anytime I watch MMA, it's a lot of hold. Okay, next round, hold, swing and a miss. Oh, and this dude just got knocked out. That was a cool 5 seconds, but, man, getting there was just nothing to me, and I've had a hard time grasping that. But those two put in tremendous work. They really told the story well. I would not be surprised with the Endeavor deal if we get more kind of MMA-style integration moving forward with WWE and UFC being under the same roof. I do think they need to tweak it. And I don't know how. I don't know what the answer is, like, to improve it, but to tweak it just a little bit to get it to translate better with the live audience, because they were just not into it. And part of that may be that there really wasn't a competitor in the match to get people emotionally invested in, because while Shayna is the hero of the story, she's still technically a heel, and we know how people hate Ronda, so it's like they were trying to get people to cheer for Shayna by going against Ronda, and unfortunately in Detroit it just didn't work. But I did enjoy the match. I thought they had tremendous chemistry with one another. It's exactly what I wanted to see, but yeah, it just did not go well with the live crowd.
We got a couple more minutes with Rick Ucchino here, and Rick, you were talking about what you thought was the match of the night with Seth Rollins and Finn Balor.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah.
Well, they were both in the match, so
okay.
I blended them just conveniently. But you feel like the wrong person won the match. Tell us your thoughts on that.
Yeah. So, look, the one thing that nobody wanted to come to grips with this rivalry, right, is that as over as Seth Rollins is, and he is one of the top babyfaces on Monday night, the hero of this story is Finn Balor. The hero of this whole 7-year arc between Finn Balor and Seth Rollins is the Prince. He is the hero, the good guy in this story, and the good guy should have triumphed in the end. And I just feel like him winning the championship would have not only, finally given him his redemption moment, but it also would have fully put Judgment Day in that Bloodline spot. They have taken over the Bloodline TV time as far as the top faction in WWE, and Rhea Ripley is there as their world champion, but they don't have her defend the title a whole lot. She was one of the people that did not make the card that really upset some people this weekend. And I feel like if you give that win to Finn Balor last night, Judgment Day is now solidified as that top faction. They've officially taken over WWE. And then you can really kind of slow play the story of, okay, well, when is Damian going to turn on Finn Balor? When is that cashing going to happen? When is the Bloodline going to, or excuse me, not the Bloodline, but the Judgment Day, when are they going to implode? When's that turn going to happen? And last night, really, as great as that match was, as captivating as it was, once again, they just made kind of Finn Balor look like a little bit of a dope in that situation where Damian Priest came down. Damian was trying to help him from the get-go, and Finn was just like, no, I don't trust you. And it's like, bro, you just lost the match. Like, let the dude help you win. But, man, they sold me down a river on some of those near falls. I thought Seth had it off the stomp. I thought Finn had it off of the coup de grace. And, yeah, man, it's instant classic. Those two have great chemistry with one another. It'll be interesting to see where Judgment Day goes from here. But I would have been much happier if Finn walked out with the title. And I know they just put the belt on Seth and they want to establish him as the world champion, but they have so many title reigns that feel like endurance tests lately. Like, not every championship reign needs to be 8 months to a year. Like, I think they really could have done some service to Finn by giving him the World Heavyweight Championship and letting him finally have a run with a title. But regardless, it was still good stuff last night.
Very cool. Well, Rick, I'm glad you had a great time at SummerSlam last night, and way to get in on the press conference. And real quick, if anybody wants to find you out there, tell them where they can catch you.
Yeah, so the one-stop shop is going to be on Twitter. That's at Rick Ucchino. That is spelled RICKUCCHINO. And that's where you're going to find all my stuff, links, articles, videos for the numerous different things that I do. Like you said, I'm on Fightful, the Collision Post Show for Saturday night. I do articles, op-eds, and interviews for SB Nation, KSideSheets.com, as well as the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast. If you want to find all those videos, that's BLEAV in Pro Wrestling on YouTube, also available anywhere that podcasts are. And yeah, man, just follow my stuff there. I'm going to be dropping an interview this week from SummerSlam. I haven't decided what it is yet. Maybe I'll see how things shake out on Raw and figure out which one would be the best one to drop this week. But something's coming down the pike for sure.
Awesome. Well, Rick, thank you very much for joining us, and take it easy. Be safe going home, and good luck to your Reds, buddy.
Yeah, so it's not like, let's not talk about it.
Fair enough, pal. Well, thanks for being on the show. We appreciate it, man.
Yep. Take care, guys.
You got it. There you go. Rick Ucchino, everybody. Had a great time at SummerSlam last night.
Sounds like it, man.
Man, it's always a blast. I tell you, I got to go to WrestleMania and met all these guys, and just, going to one of these, there's just nothing like it. Nothing like it. Next year, Dave.
Yeah, Philly, man. I'm there.
Yeah, let's go. Rocky, you can come along, too.
Absolutely. Live shows, man. I mean, they're incredible. I mean, it's one thing watching them on TV, but when you're live, it's a whole new atmosphere. It's definitely different. So
yeah.
That energy, that community. Yeah, it's fun, man.
It is.
It is fun. And, I always got that energy. I'm ready to rock and roll all the time.
Yes, sir, brother.
You betcha. Well, another guy that's got energy that we're going to get on the show here in just a minute, Stu Myrick from Sports Guys Talk Wrestling down there in Austin, Texas.
Watch out now.
I'm sure he's got some thoughts on that SummerSlam-y thing going on. And he was at the Great American Bash for NXT and saw the debacle that took place with Gable Steveson. We're going to ask him about that and a whole lot more. So stick around. We got so much coming on the Mark Hoke Show. Stick around, everybody. If you're looking for an award-winning dining experience at outstanding prices, look no further than Unique Eats. Whether it's their incredible breakfast platters, amazing pastas and sandwiches, or world-renowned pizzas, celebrity chef Dominic Tedesco will have you covered. Check out their coffee and smoothie bar, vegetarian options, catering, and top-flight service. Visit Unique Eats today at 3100 South Durango, Suite 100. Call 702-992-3038 or go to uniqueeatslv.com, and we'll see you all at Unique Eats.
101.5 FM KDAWN.
You're listening to the #1 professional wrestling radio show in Vegas, The Mark Hoke Show. The Mark Hoke Show. Now, here again is Mark Hoke.
And we are back on The Mark Hoke Show here on KDAWN 101.5 FM, the talk of Las Vegas. And we're getting ready to be joined here in just a second on the show with Stu Myrick as soon as the guys get back into the studio here. And, of course, I just want to remind everybody real quick, if you're looking for something to do at the end of the month, we've got a great event for you. It is the Cauliflower Alley Club Reunion, August 28th through the 30th, and down at the Plaza. And all you need to do, if you want to get tickets for that, is go to caulifloweralleyclub.org to get your tickets and, be a part of a terrific event. There's some great banquets and seminars and everything happening down there. So we would be thrilled if you could join us on that one. All right. So, and of course, we're back on the show and just waiting for everybody to get back in the seats, and we will get Stu Myrick on the show momentarily as David's back. Welcome back, David. Good to have you. And why don't we put Stu on the live stream and get back on track here?
Rocky got lost in the hallway, man.
It's okay. Well,
it's a big building.
Yeah, well, let's get Stu on the show, shall we?
Let's do that.
All right. So as soon as you hit the magic button, there he is, Stu Myrick.
Hey, all right.
Stu, how you doing, buddy? Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Stu, what we got?
Hey.
All right.
How you doing? How's everything in Las Vegas?
Oh, it is absolutely going great. We are thrilled to have you on, buddy. So, Stu, I wanted to talk to you first real quick about what happened down at the Great American Bash, because this was a pretty amazing card down there in Austin, but we had a situation with, of course, Gable Steveson. And for those that aren't familiar with Gable, two-time national champion at the University of Minnesota and also an Olympic gold medalist. And he ran into some trouble in that first match that he had with Baron Corbin down there, and the crowd really turned on him. Stu, what happened?
Well, it's funny. So they had the Great American Bash at the HEB Center, Cedar Park, northwest suburb of Austin. I'm about 15 minutes away from the arena, and it was a great show. Fantastic show, a lot of fun. Roxanne Perez, of course, fellow Texan from Laredo. She was great. The whole thing with Gable and Baron Corbin was just it was out of bizarro world. It really was. Austin, when it comes to live, when it comes to wrestling shows, Austin's not one of those cities like Philadelphia or New York or Detroit. They pretty much go with, the fans they cheer the faces and boo the heels. And I don't know what happened. I really don't, because I'm sitting in the arena. They're playing the package on Gable Steveson, like you said, NCAA national champion, Olympic gold medalist. And Baron Corbin, nobody cheers Baron Corbin.
No, they don't.
He's like one of the best heels there is.
Right.
Just because he's just unlikable. And so they bring, they do the entrance videos. Here comes Baron Corbin. Here comes Gable Steveson. And it was like I'm doing a double take, because it is a very mixed reaction for Gable Steveson. He gets to the ring. They start the match. And it's somewhat apparent that this is truly his first match. I don't know how much training he's had, leading up to it. I don't know how much, they ran through the match prior to the event, but it felt like a NXT rookie, a Performance Center rookie that they decided to put on just to see what he would do. I mean, he did okay for a rookie, but it wasn't what you would expect from someone that is Olympic gold medalist in wrestling. And as the match went on, the boos for Gable Steveson started getting louder.
Oh,
and then the crazier thing, the cheers for Baron Corbin started getting louder. So, and by the end, they do the double count out, which of course the fans hated. And who wants a double count out? That's like a tie. It's like kissing your sister. It's
okay.
It just was not a good match at all. That was a match. I hope that they go back and try to figure out what happened. I hope that Gable Steveson has not closed the door on Paris in 2024. He needs to go and defend that Olympic gold medal next year in the Olympics. But it was not a good debut, and I really hope I really hope they just keep him off TV for a while. Like I said, maybe just have him concentrate on training for the Olympics. Let him go to the Olympics, play all those packages, about him training for the Olympics and everything. And then after that, maybe bring him back and then start him from scratch and see what they can do, because it was, like I said, that was not a good debut for the Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, that's got to be rough for them right now, as this is a guy that they've been hyping for a long time since they signed him. He was drafted to Raw right away, and this is an Olympic gold medalist here, and to have the crowd turn on him like that, that's rough, and that's hard to recover from right off the bat.
Yeah.
Well, and the crazy thing was they had him, 2-3 weeks prior on that NXT Underground. He was seconding Eddie Thorpe. And look, I'm a big fan of Eddie Thorpe, Carl Fredericks from the New Japan LA dojo. And you saw the flashes. He started, German suplexing everybody that came within an arm's length. And those German suplexes looked fantastic. I mean, it was, grab him, he would release at the right time, and they just look phenomenal. I'm going, okay, this guy might be ready. He may be ready for the big time. And then, you get to Cedar Park, and wow, it was not the same guy. I don't know what happened. I don't know if maybe the bright lights got to him. It was not the same Gable Steveson we saw, on that NXT Underground segment.
Yeah. So, we'll see what happens with that. Stu, we got about 35 seconds real quick. Give us your impressions of SummerSlam last night.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate to what Rick was saying in the last segment. I don't see the logic in Jimmy turning on Jay, because you had Jimmy getting beat up after the Usos leave the Bloodline. Jimmy gets beat up by Roman and Solo. And the first time you see him back, he turns on his brother and seemingly rejoins the Bloodline. I'm trying to figure out, okay, where's the logic in that? I don't see it. I get they want to pull out Uso, do some Jimmy versus Jay versus Solo, whatever. It feels like the Bloodline, storyline, while it's still hot, might have jumped the shark that night.
He's with me.
I disagree.
He's with me on that.
But they was talking about, Roman was talking about how it was Jay's fault that all this happened. I understand. And so I think it probably sat with him while he was in the hospital there recovering, and it ate at him.
That may be it. We'll see.
Well, Stu, real fast, got about 10 seconds. Tell everybody where we can find you, buddy.
Search all the social media, Sports Guys Talking Wrestling. Podcasts drop by every Wednesday morning. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Stu. We certainly appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, buddy. Stu Myrick, everybody. Thanks, from Stu. Sports Guys Talk Wrestling. And, hey, when we come back now, we're going to get a chance to break down SummerSlam. We're going to talk to Rocky T about everything he's got going on with FSW and Headlocks and Hearts, so much more. So stick around for more on The Mark Hoke Show, everybody. We will be right back. And keep following us on our socials at Mark Hoke Show, just pretty much everywhere, and on that live stream, too. Thanks for being with us. We'll be back for hour number 2 right after this. Want more of The Mark Hoke Show? Follow us on Twitter at Mark Hoke Show. Like us on Facebook at The Mark Hoke Show, and visit markhokeshow.com to keep up with everything happening with the show. And remember to check out all of our archive shows on YouTube at The Mark Hoke Show, and download our podcasts at markhokeshow.podbean.com and all your favorite podcast outlets. So join The Mark Hoke Show family today, and thanks for listening.